So, I would like to start this off by saying this is something that I would love to do more of, and hopefully I can remember that because present me, I don't think will have the best memory for future me, if that makes sense. Anyways, what I'd like to do is I'd like to do something new here, something called the Don't Quote Me. What this is essentially me taking a character from a video game, anime, or comic book, cartoon, whatever, just a single character that I have a fascination for and interest in, and without doing any research at all, because I am lazy and I thought that'd be funnier just to see how much I remember. I would love to just see how like close I guess I get to like a brief history, like very brief. Long story short, we're going to get into a character here shortly, but I would love for you guys to just comment in the corrections on things that I get wrong within the sentences that I am about to say. So, with that being said, let's get on with our first character. So, our first character, as you can see right here, that is the Red Hulk, or aka Thaddeus Ross. Some of you don't know, the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, in general, Bruce Banner's Hulk, is my favorite fictional character of all time. Now, the reason I picked the Red Hulk is because the new movie of can it speak? Captain America: New World Order, I believe, is the name of the title. I might be wrong. Apologies. Once again, don't quote me. It's slated to come out next year, and I'm super excited for it. And this is one of the main characters that they will be showing off in the movie. I can't speak. Long story short, his name is Thaddeus E. Ross. He is an American general, or was an American general, because he has done a lot of underhanded stuff in his time. He was the guy who was overseeing Bruce Banner's experiment with the gamma radiation, the gamma bomb, all this, that, and the third. He was there when it went off, and he was the first, I believe he is the first, like, quote-unquote villain that is, I would consider him a villain. Like I said, he's done a lot of underhanded things, but he was the first, I believe, to be the first villain of the Hulk, because he saw the monstrosity that he was, and he wanted to take him down. And like I said, he's done a lot of underhanded things. He has teamed up with other villains trying to take him down. He has given like military like experiments, money, weapons. He's just overall not the best guy. Like in his mind, he believes that he's doing the good thing. Like he's doing bad things for good reasons. So he sees himself as like an anti-hero. Anyways, let's get into his experimentation and like how he got to be who he is, this big behemoth that you see on the screen. If I remember correctly, like I said, don't quote me. Long story short, Thaddeus E. Ross was at his low point in his life where he he believed that his daughter is not with us anymore. She was gone, and that put him in a very dark place, to the point where he is approached by, I believe it is the leader in either AIM or Abomination. I just believe, I don't know why I believe the leader was there. They did an experimentation on him that is, I believe, a mixture of gamma radiation and solar rays. I always remember there's two things that they put together. It could have easily been the Hulk's DNA with solar rays, or a different form of like energy. But he is kind of like the Hulk, besides a few key aspects. As you can see, when Thaddeus transforms, he does keep his like mindset where he can talk to you. He can have an intellectual conversation. He does get stronger the angrier he gets, but he does have this thing that I call like a flare out, where his body will start bursting into flames and his energy is burning him, I believe is how they described it, if I remember correctly. Long story short, this came into like, how do I explain it? Long story short, it came into like play almost immediately in their first fight. I think Thaddeus was surprised that was a thing, because like I said, no one really told him what his abilities are. He's a new like gamma mutate, so he doesn't know what his abilities are. We also find out that he can absorb all forms of energy. He can't necessarily manipulate them, but he can absorb them. An example of this is when he took Norrin Radd, or Silver Surfer's board, and was able to surf on it, like use it. It was because he was able to absorb the power cosmic. Same thing with how he was able to pick up Mjolnir, because if you know Thaddeus Ross, I do not believe he's worthy enough to pick up that hammer. He picked it up because it is imbued with the Odin Force, which the Odin Force is what every Asgardian basically has access to thanks to Odin, but now it's Thor because Thor was taken over. That's a whole nother thing for a whole nother episode. But yes, he was able to absorb the Odin Force and able to pick up Mjolnir because of that. But I don't believe there's anything else I'd like to talk about with him. I'm just super excited to see him in the movie, and I do really hope that it's not just the Hulk, but he's red. You know, like that's just it. Like I do think it'd be cool if there was some kind of aspect where it's like, oh, I'm going to throw something at you, and it's just like, oh, I'm going to just absorb the energy that comes with it, like the kinetic energy, potential energy, or like you shoot a ray at me and I absorb it. But yeah, this has been the Don't Quote Me, and like I said before, I would love for you guys to correct me on what I said, because I feel like I got maybe, if there was 10 things that I said in this, I got maybe a solid 20%.